After Fifi fixed it all, she called her sister.
Hello? Thank you so much, sis, for recommending these Fifi people to me. I am so happy now.
I'm glad you're happy now.
The lights are fine, the tap-in's no longer leaking, and the AC is working perfectly now.
All fixed now? I told you, these Fifi people are professionals and always reliable.
With Fifi, it's peace of mind. Every time. Call us or download the Fifi app today. We fix it for you 24/7.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dr. Archie Celestine, and you are all welcome to what we have decided first, or the maiden edition of Fifi AMA session, where you are free to ask any question about what the brand stands for, about the kind of impact they are making, and about what they really do for you in order to make life easy. Tonight, before I introduce my guests, two amazing founders from two different backgrounds. Before I do that, there is something that probably I need to share with you. Every great solution starts with a great problem. Tonight, we are not just fixing things. We are telling the story behind the solution called Fifi 247. Welcome to Fifi once again, Unfiltered, with co-founders Kemi Dallas and Tokunboh Akindele. I bring them onto the studio. Let me first of all welcome Tokunboh Dallas. You are welcome, man. I'm going to do a proper introduction very soon. And of course, with us tonight also is Tokunboh Akindele. You are welcome too, sir. I hope we are ready for our audience tonight.
Absolutely.
Yes, we are.
Great.
Yes,
So let me start with by introducing Madam Kemi Dallas. Is one of the founders of this great and amazing brand doing wonderful things. Madam Kemi Dallas, of course, your background is facility management, if I'm correct. I hope I'm correct. Yes, I believe I'm correct. But then we are going to come to you and ask you questions. What inspired FIFY and all that. So just stay tuned. And from Mr. Tokunboh Akindele, again, interesting. And the audience will be surprised to find out that your background is in oil and gas. Again, if I'm correct, I hope I'm correct also. Please, can you confirm if I'm correct?
Yeah, you're correct. I'm an oil and gas
great.
professional.
Okay. I seem to be very correct. So we are going to start this session by briefly explaining how you, the audience, need to ask your questions. I'm going to call for questions, and if you want to ask your questions, just drop your question on. If you're on Instagram, drop it on the comment section. If you're on YouTube, drop it on the comment section. And if you are on Facebook, drop it on the comment section. Be free to ask any question. Like we said, this is unfiltered. Ask me anything is what is all about. And that is what we'll be doing today. Madam Kemi, let's start with you. Could you probably please, let's start with you telling us about yourself. Who are you? Who is the amazing Kemi Dallas?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Celeste. My name is Kemi Dallas, as you have said. My background is in facility management. I've been in facility management for plus or minus 20 years. And so what my company, well, I have two companies. So my main company or my other company is Gardner Integrated Services and a facility management company. And So facilities and project management has really been what I've been doing for the last 20, 25 years. And so that's really it.
Great. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. At least our guests are getting to understand who you are. Then for our amazing Tokunboh Akindele, could you please tell the audience exactly who is Tokunboh Akindele?
Okay. I hope you hear me clearly. As you said, my name's Tokunboh Akindele. I'm an oil and gas professional. I've been in oil and gas for over 20 years plus, and focused mainly on upstream. But in terms of ensuring that assets can be optimized, when I say assets, producing assets, so it's about, doing the right thing in terms of maintenance and routine checks and inspections. So that's basically what brought about my interest in being able to recreate this for homes and domestic purposes, because I do it in oil and gas for refineries and larger structures as a whole. Thank you.
We can hear you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Oh, so sorry. The presenter, the anchor is muted. Interesting. Okay, so I was asking, I said the first question goes to you, Madam Kemi. As a seasoned facility and project manager, what was the specific light bulb moment that made you say, we need to create this brand called Fifi?
Interesting enough that you asked that question. It's the person really, we are actually the ones, it was a conversation between myself and Tokunboh. And really, the issue actually even came from him. It was one evening, they had an issue at their house, and they were looking for their electrician. I think they had an electrical problem, and they needed somebody to fix their electrical problem. I guess their regular electrician was it was reachable, but he couldn't make it that evening. I think this must have been around 9 o'clock at night. Even after all efforts were made to try and get him to come to their house that evening, and he wasn't able, he just refused to come. And of course, they called me and said, oh, they have an electrical problem. Do I have an election? Because again, I run a facility management company. So I said, well, I have an election on one of my sites. Name me, get my driver to go and get the guy and bring him to their house. And the driver went, picked him up and brought him to their house, and he fixed the problem within minutes. And I think that was the light bulb moment, basically, for the fact that we clearly needed a service that, because anybody can be caught up in a situation like that. Even I have been caught up in the situation like that, even though I have a facility management company where I couldn't I've gone to bed at night before where my generator just couldn't work and I couldn't get anybody to fix it, And so that was really what brought up the idea. We realized that there was this need to have trained technicians available to residents, regardless of where you are, and to be able to fix your problem at whatever time of the day it is. Again, you might not necessarily fix the problem in terms of in the totality of it, but at least there's some level of solution you can proffer in the middle of the night or late at night that doesn't require you to sit and wait till the next morning, to even try to start resolving the problem. So that's really what brought on the idea of Fifi. And since then we came together and basically formed Fifi.
Oh, interesting. Thank you for that. Let me now come to Mr. Tokunboh, Akindele. Tell me, Mr. Tokunboh. I mean, you are a maintenance and strategy expert. How did they fix it today, or fix it for you today, not tomorrow? Philosophy evolve from an idea, into a core business model that is already making waves.
Okay, fantastic. Now, what you need to look at in time is 30 years ago, we had a problem with our generators. We had a problem with our electricals, had a problem with plumbers. 30 years ago, which was, I believe, what, 1995, you didn't have the option of picking up your phone and making a phone call to get an artisan to your house. So you have a problem, you have to get in a car as early as 5, 6 a.m. before they set out for their first job to go and find them where they live to bring them over. That is how you did it in the 90s, right? Now you look at Nigeria and you look at progression, you look at development, you look at Nigeria as a whole, right? In 2000, how many lines did we have? We had about a total of 147,000, no, actually about 14,000 lines, and these were landlines across Nigeria. Today, how many mobile lines do you have in work? You have the MTNs, you have the Glows, you have all of these communication giants who've created a platform to ensure that we can basically get through to anybody in Nigeria, wherever they are. This was not the case 30 years ago. Now, that's another thing that has copied the Western world. It's come in, technology has come in, there's data has come in. People don't even make direct calls majority of the time now. People make calls on WhatsApp, right? So when you look at where the world is going and you realize that technology is at the forefront, there's no reason why Nigeria should be a step behind in any way, be it communication, be it travel, be it maintenance, be it utilities. So as Kemi Dallas had stated, what you need to be mindful of is when you see a problem, the most important thing is if you're having that problem, a lot of people are having that problem as well. So the most important thing is finding solutions to the problems we have. Now, there was a telephony problem in Nigeria. They found a solution, right? There's electrical problems in Nigeria. There's generating problems. A lot of people are now going off grid and going solar. Why? Because there's a solution. So for everything where you have a solution, it's important that you actually provide the solution to problems. And, that makes a big difference. And that is what the eureka moment was for myself when I was having a conversation with Kemi. I had a problem. I couldn't solve the problem. I threw all sorts of resources, all sorts of finance at the problem, but I could not resolve the problem. Kemi Dallas was able to resolve the problem because she had a team that was working at the site, and she was able to come through as a stopgap to ensure that she could fix the solution till the next morning. And I said to myself, you know what? From the age of 15 to the age of whatever age I am right now, right? What has been the problem? The problem has been you have a problem, you go to bed and you sleep. You wake up tomorrow and you address the problem. Nigeria is not Nigeria of the past. Nigeria is in the future, right? So why do we have to sleep with a problem? Why can't we resolve the problem at 2 a.m. in the morning? If your AC goes off at 2 a.m., why can't you fix it? Work is hard enough. Getting up at 6 a.m. in the morning to go to work is hard enough. So you want to have a good night's sleep, right? So our expectation as a team is we will solve the problem for you. All you need to do is call us, whether it's in the morning, it's at night, whatever time it is, we'll step up and we'll show up. And that is what the New World Order is, having solutions at your fingertips. And that's what we're trying to provide.
Interesting. I don't know the audience. I don't know if you heard Mr. Tokunboh. It doesn't matter the hour of the day, 24/7. Fix it for you. They are just there for you. Now, something. I mean, there has been this interesting conversation on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube, and that is your animation-led campaign that is ongoing. My audience, before we deep dive, before we dive deeper, I want to show you a quick look of how Fifi is making a difference in telling their story, a difference in making you comfortable, a difference in giving you that peace of mind that you actually need. We'll come back in just a few minutes Let's look at how they are making a difference. Then I will come to Madam Kemi to tell us what this animation-led campaign is all about and why we all have to keep on watching it. Hold on for a minute and let's cue.
After Fifi fixed it all, she called her sister.
Hello? Thank you so much, sis, for recommending these Fifi people to me. I am so happy now.
I'm glad you're happy now.
The lights are fine, the tap-in's no longer leaking, and the AC is working perfectly now.
All fixed now? I told you, these Fifi people are professionals and always reliable.
With Fifi, it's peace of mind. Every time. Call us or download the Fifi app today. We fix it for you 24/7.
Interesting. With Fifi, it's peace of mind. Call us, and in 247, we are there for you. What is this all about?
Okay, so basically, I think what we wanted to do with the animation and the videos is to basically explain to you what Fifi is all about. You know, there's nothing like you being able to understand it by visualization. It's not, I can tell you what Fifi is, but when it's only the video will communicate it better than what, you know, whatever I can say. And so that's why we, you know, launched this animation series whereby we basically tell you exactly what Fifi is all about, and you know, and then it lets, you know, share it you know, across board to everybody, and to let you also understand that it's not just, you know, because some people, oh, is it for the home? It's not for the home. It's for the home. It's for an office. It's for your mom being home alone, you know, because we also have a lot of families where, you know, your parents are home alone in Nigeria or live alone in Nigeria and you live abroad. So it's also to have this service that is verified, that is secure, to, you know, to help your parents out. It's, you know, it's your family being home alone and you not being around and you have to send somebody to go and fix something in your house. So it's really the animation series is really to let you understand that it's for everybody, you know, and everybody that wants proper, secure service, and, you know, from professionals, because it's key to understand that we are professionals in this space. We are focused on ensuring that the people that come, you know, the technicians that come to your house to fix all those problems are actually professionals. They are trained professionals. So we are not just, you know, your regular guy off the streets that are coming into your homes to, you know, probably even cause a problem rather than even fix a problem.
Interesting. Now let's take a different tone on this conversation, and I'll probably start with Mr. Tokunboh, because watching the queue that we just watched now, I mean, the logistics are fascinating. Can you walk us through how the 247 fire station operational model of Fifi works, especially for a late night emergency? I mean, that is one interesting aspect of Fifi 247 that the audience likely want to know. As I'm seeing from the comment section coming in, how do you make this happen?
Okay. Something I just wanted to add to what Kemi Dallas said, which is important, is we're doing an AI-led marketing campaign, right? That is heavily technology driven. There's something that's been said around the world, right? Whether you're using ChatGPT or whatever tools you're using in AI to get your work done, your letters done, your contracts reviewed, even in terms of coding, AI is, you know, getting to a point where it's going to be better than human beings. But the truth is, if your generator spoils, AI can't fix it, right? So, you know, so we're using that on one side to be able to create the kind of content that we need to roll out very quickly. So that has allowed us, as opposed to spending hours in a studio, recording different skits, getting different influencers and pushing it out. We've basically been able to create a number of adverts with your expertise to push them out, and that's using technology. Now, we're also using technology in terms of people being able to call, which speaks to the 24/7 nature. So what have we done? We've created a fire station model, as you stated, where we have teams which have basically been put on rotation. During the day, we have a couple of teams who are working. We have about 50 staff in total. We have a boarding house system. So for those of you who watch any fire programs or you watch even hospitals, right? You have people on rotations. You have doctors who work at night. You have doctors who work by day, right? In Nigeria, you don't have electricians that work by night. You don't have plumbers, nor do you have generator guys or AC guys. Once it's 6 o'clock, everybody's going home. And their home is not in Ikoyi, their home is not in Lekki, and it's not in Oniru, nor is it in VI. And those are the operational areas that we're working in as we speak. So what we've done in this period is created a system where we have teams who can run by day. You have drivers on rotation, you have assets, cars, you have tools, you even have stock. So what now happens is teams can show up at your house to fix a problem. Now, we've ensured that it's some people, call and say, I had an electrical, I had a problem with my plumbing, and you sent a team of 4 people. Why? And it's about efficiency, and it's about being on the mark when you need to be on the mark. And when I say efficiency, you get to a house and there's a problem with the water. They have no water in the house. Is that really a plumbing problem? It could be the pumping machine. Now, if it's the pumping machine, what's going to happen? The plumber gets there and the plumber can't fix it. Now, what would happen? You now start calling your electrician. If your electrician is in Ogun State doing a job, before he's going to make his way down from Abeokuta or Ijebu, it's going to take a while, right? So our teams come out as a fully fledged team. So you have a plumber, you have an electrician, you have a supervisor to overlook what's going on. And if you have a generator problem, you have a generator guy and you have an electrician. So most teams are normally staffed with additional resources, both people as well as tools and spares. So when they get to your place, they can diagnose the problem. If it's something that's a quick fix, they'll fix it. If it's not a quick fix, what they'll do is they'll implement a short-let solution that allows them to come back during the day when they've been to the market and bought whatever parts or replacement parts you need. Now, if your generator's engine knocks at the end of the day, it can't be fixed that night. But a solution in terms of bringing in a replacement generator can be done, So we've basically been able to look at what are the key problems or the major issues that people have across board, whether it's electricals, their generators, or their plumbing systems and ACs. And we've ensured that we've stocked our actual stock room to the extent that when somebody's coming, you tell us what your problem is. We're coming out with those things. The drivers are on shift, so you have drivers who sleep all day, work all night. You have electricians, and you have a team that's ready to move. And the same way you can use internet and use anything at any time, there's no reason why you cannot get your utilities fixed the same way at any time.
Great. Interesting. By the way, we are going to take you on AI can't fix generator. But we are going to come back to that. Let's go to Kemi Dallas. Madam Kemi, trust is a currency, is paramount. How does Fifi ensure that every technician who comes into a customer's home is not just skilled, but also vetted and reliable, especially looking at the security issues around the country today? How do you do that?
Okay, thank you. So what we do is we have a company we work with to verify all our staff and all our technicians. So at the point we're employing our technicians, we do a verification process. They all go through a verification process where we verify, check their address to ensure they live where they say they live. We have their guarantors, we check out their guarantors. And, so we do a thorough check that we use a third-party company that's their own core business to verify all our stuff. And not only that, we also carry out every 6 months, we also do a second check because, you move, things happen in, 6 months, you can move from one location to another location and things like that. So we are constantly verifying and just rechecking to ensure that our team, who they are, and just ensure that we always know where they they live and things like that. No, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed in terms of their situation. So that when we tell you that you are secure, we are fully, we are standing behind it. That we have a secure team coming into your homes.
Interesting. Thank you. Now that we know how Fifi verifies their technician and all that, let's see them at work. Let's see exactly how professional they are when they are working. Watch this and let me know what you think. Hold on.
Please ensure there's volume because we haven't been hearing any voice.
At Fifi, we don't just fix problems. We bring you real peace of mind.
You book us through the app, we show up, do the job, no stories, no delays. Plumbing, electrical, or AC, we're available 24/7 anytime you need us. When you call Fifi, you get peace of mind. We fix it right and leave you stress-free.
Call Fifi today. Reliable service anytime you need it. We fix it for you 24/7.
Yes, anytime you need it, we fix it for you 247, not 246, 247 around the clock. Now let's listen. We have questions coming in from the audience. We need to give them a priority in answering, asking the questions. Let me start with the very first question of the day. And this is coming from which one am I going to pick? Okay, somebody is taking you on AI can't fix generators. I believe that Fifi will probably bring in robotics very soon, but we'll come back to that. We are going to have AI powered robotics as technicians in Fifi very soon. Let's take the first question from Okoro. Okoro Obaru Okorare is asking, what is the most surprising or memorable request Fifi has ever received since you started over? I think your anniversary was just a few weeks. Since you actually started, what has been the most surprising or memorable request? Maybe request made at 12 midnight or even 1 a.m. Who knows? Over to you, Mr. Tokunboh.
I was actually going to say that the best person who can answer that question is actually Kemi Dallas. Right now, the reason I'll say that is everybody has our strengths, and when it comes to the actual operations management, she's the king. So I will hand that over to her to answer.
So over to you, the one who is in charge of this.
I honestly, most memorable. I'm not sure. But the only one, I'm sure there might be, but I probably won't really. I'm sure my team would probably be the best people to answer that question. But I know what was memorable, really, honestly, at least for me, was we had a client called and said there was lights in the building, but lights in his unit was out. He didn't have lights in his own unit. And then also his UPS, so his inverter was also off. So basically he didn't have light, but it wasn't a general problem, it was unique to him. So I said, okay. So he reached out to me. I called Fifi and said, guys, go to this location and stuff. And, and they showed up. And they were there, they fixed his problem. They were able to at least give him lights, figured out what the issue was. And, basically told him what needs to be done to now permanently resolve the situation. And I think what makes it more memorable, but again, this is standard for us, so we didn't think anything of it. But then what makes it memorable was the fact that he reaches back to me the next morning and says, he was like, oh my God, where did you find these people? I'm like, I don't understand why. What's the problem? He said, no problem. Like, I'm just amazed as how they showed up professional, and they fixed the problem. As in, he's never seen this. He doesn't understand. Where did I get them? What's their number? How do you contact them? And, So I mean, I laughed about it, but I was happy that okay, at least we were able to truly deliver on what we promised. So he was just so excited about it, and he was just going on and on about it. I think that was, for me, that was one of the most memorable, I mean, memories for exactly in the last year that we've been running this Fifi dream. And but I'm sure my team probably have even more stories. But yes, but for me, that was it. That was one of it.
Oh. Okay, in
Okay.
addition to what Lady Kemi Dallas has said, the things I find funny is when somebody is calling my phone and saying, we tried to reach your switchboard, have you guys gone to sleep? And so one of us is always awake regardless of this whole 24/7 thing. So once the calls go in, if they don't go to our switchboard, they get rerouted to one of the founders. Now, for one of us, right, the Exco team. So we now have a direct line to call somebody who's at the shop. And when we do that, a lot of the times when people are trying to reach me after 10 o'clock, they're like, your guys can really come at this time? And you're like, yeah. They can really solve my problem right now? And you're like, yeah. They're like, not tomorrow? You're like, no. They'll be with you in 30 minutes. But I think just being able to bring, developed, world solutions to Nigeria and make it work is key. Somebody had a plumbing problem where they've had a plumber that has addressed the situation like 100 times. And they said they'd resigned themselves to using, buckets to be bathing, as opposed to they were no longer showering in their house because they just couldn't fix the shower. And our guys came along and, within an hour or so, the problem was corrected. And they said this was the first time they've been able to have a hot shower in a couple of weeks. And so they were resigned to, maybe we need to break our bathroom and start again, but we came up with a solution. And even off the back of that, somebody else said something and they said, what exactly are you selling? I said, technical solutions. The person said, no, you're not selling technical solutions, you're selling peace of mind. So please have that incorporated into your marketing, because what people are paying for is peace of mind. People are paying for the fact that they know that your guys will show up at any point in time and get the work done. And you see, we started this, marketing campaign, 9 months into operations. We wanted to ensure that we perfected our execution of our operations in terms of the rollout, in terms of billing. We have put in place, standard operating procedures to make sure that there's a process to everything. It's not, there's no mayhem, there's no chaos. People get out there, they do what they're supposed to do, and they do it properly. Now, off the back of that, when the campaign started, I did a search myself and I went an Exco meeting, and we did a search to see how many times Fifi came up. And Fifi is an acronym, which basically means fix it for you. Now, when we first set up, what would happen is whenever they would come and do any works in my house or do works in any of our family and friends, they'll say, this AC that we thought could not be fixed, that we wanted to change, is working. Then when I call the management team and say, this person said this, the person will say, well, Fifi'd it, well, Fifi'd it, well, Fifi'd it. So we found that quite funny. Now, off the back of them telling us what Fifi did, I did a search. What does Fifi mean? Now, Fifi in the real world, on a global level, actually means to better something, to perfect something, or to fix it, right? We didn't know that when we named the company. We just basically broke down the company's name. We had loads of different names, and then we came to Fix It For You, which is FIFY. But FIFY actually means to better, to perfect, to correct, to make, to fix. So I think we're in the spirit in terms of the name, in terms of the action, and in terms of the execution. So we're quite excited about that as well, and being able to, keep people online in terms of electricals, plumbing. You want to have a hot shower, call us. You want to keep your room cold, call us. You want to keep your generator running, call us. So it feels good, and for us, it's really not driven by financial gains. It's driven by, we want to create a solution. We want to change the way Lagos thinks. Everybody in Nigeria thinks, I have a problem, I resolve it when I wake up tomorrow. And the person may not even show up tomorrow. You go home, the person may not have fixed your problem. But we want to create, services and systems to ensure that these problems are fixed when they should be fixed on your time.
Interesting. It's becoming interesting. And I've had these consistent questions on the from the audience, especially on YouTube. Those of you on Facebook, I'm waiting for your comments. Those of you on Instagram, I'm yet to see your questions. But there has been this. I mean, we have 4 people here with same question. I mean, if I put them in a concise summary, and let's take for instance, Rachel Badejo, is she saying what happens if the problem persists after the repair? After all, nothing is foolproof.
So in a situation where the job, if there's a return job, as you call it, we go back and we fix the problem without charging you. As long as if as long as what we diagnose that is the problem is actually the problem, and for some reason the team didn't get it right, or something was missed, we will fix that problem and we'll fix it for free.
Great.
Okay.
Thank you,
And
Richard.
sorry, and to add to that, sorry, very quickly. Now, what we do is when we do go to your place to do an inspection, we do a full diagnosis. We tell you what the problem is and we tell you the quick fix. Then we also have a recommendation for, as Kemi Dallas said, there's a root cause to the problem. We advise how to basically fix that root cause. Now, if you don't go with the line of doing the major fix, and we need to keep coming back to do the same fix, which keeps being triggered by something that's a major fault, then, at the end of the day, we get called out to come and do it again and again and again. That is not on us. But if it is something where we're giving you the major fix, we've done the major fix and you have issues, we are committed to coming to ensure that we get it done. And then we've also done something which is insurance. So in the process of, fixing products in your home, if we did damage them, we're not going to say manage it or please, we're going to fix it. Right, and we're going to replace it. So if we dropped an air conditioner or blew one of your TVs or something, as an organization, we're insured. So we'll ensure that we come and get it changed at the same standard of what was there.
Interesting. Okay, probably we take the question from sorry if I don't get the name right, but I'll try to pronounce it correctly. This is coming from Tamunosiki Organ. And she's asking, great innovation. Very importantly, how affordable? I mean, we have about 7 questions in that regard. How affordable is Fifi's services?
Fifi is extremely affordable, but I'll let Lady
No, let's move on.
Okay, so we're actually extremely affordable. Extremely affordable, and you see what we try and so we have something which is called a call-out fee, right? That call-out fee basically brings us to your place to inspect, and if it's something that's a quick fix, we can fix it and we move along. Now, if it's something that's not a quick fix, the call-out fee is what covers transport, covers the the technicians, their time in terms of them coming out. Now, when we say affordability, what's affordability? How do you quantify whether something is affordable? Affordability is based on the service that you're getting, right? And the quality and the delivery that you get. If you want, cheap services, you have the places where look, you can look. Let me give you an example. When I worked in Chevron in 2003, we'd go to lunch at Chocolate Royale, for example, right? Now, when you go to lunch at Chocolate Royale, you can buy a can of Coke for 250 naira at that point in time inside Chocolate Royale. Or you can go to the person down the road who's selling a bottle of Coke for 80 naira, right? The choice is where you want, what level of service you're looking for, right? You can have fine dining where you have the best sort of services, best sort of meat, best sort of service. And you also have, effectively, you can go to a booker and get the same service. But you see, when you have normal technicians who come to your house, I won't even call them technicians, I'll call them artisans. When they come to your house and they fix the problem and they don't get it right, what do? They leave. When you want them to come back and fix it, they may not come back. So you're calling somebody else to fix a problem that somebody else has created. That person comes, they can't fix it. And then you now start dealing with continuous callbacks of people that you have never met, never been verified, never been certified, never been tested, nothing. And they don't have any insurance. So you see, what factored all of those things into the cost of rollout. They come looking fresh. They're coming from an AC office in an AC car to your AC home. So, those are things factored in. They come into your house is not going to smell. They enter your lift, there's not going to be any smell in your lift, right? And then they're going to deliver a service because you're dealing with educated people. They're going to engage you, tell you what the problem is. They're going to tell you how the problem can be resolved. And, it's just a different level of service. So in terms of affordability, we're very affordable for what we're offering. And I will tell you something. When people actually try out the service, they don't go back. So, for example, the people who have the electrical issues, people who've had plumbing issues, they're now, using us for everything from generators to air conditioning servicing, because they've just realized, you know what, I want peace of mind. I wanted to get it done right the first time. And the cost of doing that is, reasonable. So let's get the professionals to do it. You can buy petrol on the roadside, you can buy it at the petrol station. It's your choice.
Thank you for that question. Real time, we have over 2,000 unique viewers watching us right now across the platform. Let's keep it coming. But then we have this persistent question coming from Omotosho Temitokwe, and she's asking, before we go into the future plans of Fifi, is asking, how do you handle high risk projects where downtime can lead to significant financial or operational losses for the client? And what's the payment plan like? Is it fixed? That's the question coming from Temitekwa Motosho.
Okay, I'll take that one. So the way the business is set up, we have both, we have customer services for both businesses as well as homes. Now, when you're dealing with businesses, we would basically put you on something called an SLA, right? Which is a service level agreement. The service level agreement ensures that we have technicians on standby to basically go and resolve any issues that you may have at short notice. So for example, you're running a call center, you need the lights to be on, the lights go off. Our guys can be there as long as in our catchment area and it's within our SLA that is agreed. We can be there within that period to get it resolved, right? Now, SLAs are negotiated with homes as well as with for people who want that proper cover at that level, both offices and homes. But we also have subscriptions. Now, with subscriptions, you have silver, gold, and platinum. And depending on the level of service you choose to subscribe to, platinum being the highest, gold, and then silver, you basically are prioritized in terms of your call out. So if you're subscribed to us and you have a problem, our guys will show up immediately. Now, if you're not subscribed, we have a call out fee, which is at a premium because we're coming to solve an emergency, right? So when you have a subscription, you basically have a discounted rate. And what that ensures is if we're going somewhere else to fix a problem and somebody who's a subscriber who's on a platinum, gold, or silver, in a subscription, they would get priority in terms of whatever team is being deployed to come and handle the matter over the people who are not subscribed. So we're customer focused, and also for those people with memberships, we basically prioritize them over anybody else, most importantly.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So for those of you from Victor, Ipe, and Motosho, and I think Omoni asking for the cost of subscription or engaging Fifi, there you have it. You can also visit their website and to get more information. Now, let's look at the future of Fifi. For both founders, but Lady Kemi and Mr. Tokunboh, looking ahead, because that is also one of the questions coming in right now. Looking ahead, what's the next big thing? What is the next big thing for Fifi? Can you give us a sneak peek into your expansion plans, both in new services or new locations? We understand that currently you are just in Lagos State, and of course we have questions coming from somebody from the South. She didn't say specifically where in the South, and I think that is hold on, please. That is did I miss that comment? Okay, while I try to get that comment, can you tell us what is your expansion plan? Can you give us a sneak preview, just like the way Apple and Samsung gives us a sneak preview and all these AI models. What is the model that we should be looking forward to as far as this brand is concerned?
For the expansion plan, I think so. We have an in-house data analyst that we work with in terms of trying to log in where our calls are from. So we are tracking where a lot of the calls are coming from and all the requests, for service is coming from. The plan is to use that to now decide which way we're going. So for instance, right now we're in, we've serviced VI, Ikoyi, Oniru, and Lekki phase 1. And that's still, relatively a small area of Lagos State. And so going forward, we would want to see if we're going further into Lekki, down Lekki. Are we going further into Lekki, or are we going to the mainland? But this is all going to be supported by data. It's based on where where the pool is coming from. That's what's going to determine it. However, if we also have data that supports that, okay, we are supposed to go sort of left and right, we have the ability to do that. If we've already mastered into some like a model, almost like a system. We have a model already that we know how to work and how to move quickly. How we can roll out a new location in another area. For instance, if we have to go and set up in Ikeja, we already have, based on our model now, we already have a template. Now all we have to do is follow that template, and we can locate in Ikeja, for instance, within a month and set up there, because we have all the tools in place, and it's just a plug and play for us. Because again, we have everything already set in place. But the location we can't say now until we kind of look at where those calls are coming from, and then we'll do that. But for now, I would say we are probably going to do a Lagos location as compared to a South location in the next, the next. I don't know South is. I don't know South is really the next. I think it's probably going to be a Lagos location before a South, unfortunately.
Okay, interesting. And I'm now taking on Mr. Tokunboh. I can't fix generator, but do you have any plans to bring in the robotics powered by AI to fix our generators?
We believe in the futuristic in all that we do, so I'm sure that we will soon be at a level where we'll be, we'll be able to diagnose problems at a point, where you can remotely check things. You can do that already. So in terms of the inverters I have at home, when we have issues, a remote analysis is done, and then a reset is sometimes done. And where that reset cannot be done remotely, then they now have to come to fix whatever the situation is. So what we're telling you is human beings are not going to be phased out at this point in time. We're going to be building. And if you do any research in the world, right, be it in, Europe, or be it in America, be it wherever it is, the major places of growth and the major industries that are growing are the industries where people use their hands, because a lot of the things people use their hands for at this point in time cannot be replaced. So we're looking forward to quite an intense expansion program, and we're basically prepared both financially as well as operationally for such things. And that's why we've taken our time to perfect the product, knowing that we're going to be delivering at a very high level. Perfect and excellence is what drives us. Perfection and excellence.
Interesting. So for you technicians out there probably getting scared that you'll be replaced, that is it for you. But then let's take this from Victor Ikwe. He said this question is on behalf of my friend as we wind up. He said he wants to know, how do you recruit your artisans? Is there a place for training? Is there a place for application? And how can they actually be part of the Fifi brand?
Okay. So what we do, or what we started with, was we're very driven in terms of certification. So the actual general manager, as well as the operations manager, the Quorum certified, which is Certificate of Engineering. And so at that level, they now go and they employ supervisors. The supervisors they employ under them, they basically have, 10 to 15 years worth of actual, you know, hand on-hand experience in terms of practice on the jobs and execution. Now, the people that we hired at the management level have come from organizations such as GMG and a couple of other places where they do a lot of both electrical and mechanical engineering. Now, we're trying to build a FIFI way. The way to build a FIFI way is to, just go to the grassroots. So what do? We hire the top technicians in the actual technical schools across Lagos. When we get the recommendation, we take them in. And because they've done a lot of, learning in practice and practice in under, what word did I use? Under controlled environments. We basically throw them in with our technicians as well as our supervisors. And when they come in, they start learning the FIFI way. And we actually do a lot of training in-house. So we actually have a training room where, when technicians are in the office and haven't gone for any call-outs, they're continuously being trained, on YouTube. The GMs basically sit in, the operational managers sit in, to basically find the most efficient way to basically execute in terms of getting things done in training. So if this is how you learned it, is there a faster way? Is there a better way? Is there a more secure way? Is there a safer way? And when we now come across the best way, we document it. And then that's what we roll out when we go to the different locations. So for us, we're going to be building up from there, feeding into the system. Since the business has started, I would say in terms of attrition rate, maybe we've only lost about 2 electricians in that period. And you're talking about a 50 strong staff, so they believe in something. And you see, we've removed, Fifi is different from a lot. Well, we're actually the first who are doing it this way. All the other people who you would claim are competitors to Fifi are actually aggregator platforms, right? And when I say they're aggregator platforms, all they do is they create a platform where they match somebody who's looking for a service with somebody who's ready to do the service. Now, there's no, process checks, there's no system checks, there's no security checks, there's no verification checks, there's no check whatsoever. So they could be matching you with armed robbers who are coming to your house to rob you. They rob you and they come off the platform and then they register somebody else tomorrow, right? But because we've put all these things in place, we actually have people on payroll. So whether you call them or they're not called, they actually still earn a living. And this is basically formalizing an informal sector, which is very important to us. So being able to formalize an informal sector, what does that do? It creates standards, it creates structure, and off the back of that, who gets the best out of it? The customer, not us. And that is what matters, providing a service that customers can basically look forward to a service being executed, as opposed to every time your fridge goes off, you say, oh my goodness, I know there's one of these adverts that you did where a girl was asking, her mother, who is this Fifi woman that daddy's always calling? I found that quite interesting because the daughter thought, daddy has a girlfriend called Fifi. Anytime we have a problem, he's calling Fifi. The mom had to reassure her that, Fifi is an organization that does, makes daddy happy, and the rest of us, keeps us safe and keeps us in good order. So, that's it. And that's really how we push our training. And when we do expand to the other locations, we're going to basically have a mixed basket. So you're going to have both old and new staff. The old staff will go to the new locations to ensure that the FIFI way is implemented and the SOPs are adhered to. And when the SOPs are, perfected or refreshed, they'll be circulated across. We plan in the next 5 years to be across Nigeria as well as in West Africa. And, in order to do that, we need to ensure that we have a very, very strong foundation. They say if you want to build a skyscraper, your actual foundation has to run deep. And that's what we've spent the last, 18 to 24 months ensuring that we've done. Thank you.
Great. And I think that is also what influences the peace of mind that you get from Fifi. That is one of the elements. Now, a quick one from Benga Jayoba as we round up. Benga is asking, how quick is your onboarding process for new customers, especially small-scale businesses?
That's Lady Kemi Dallas. Let's skip you that one. Okay.
That's we are very quick with that. Again, it's just to call us. We call us, give us your address. We'll come out to do an inspection, and we'll send you an SLA. You sign. We can sign you up within 24 hours, honestly. So it's really up to you. So our onboarding process is very quick.
Great, thank you. Let's take this this advert and we come back and we have the final session. We promise you we are ending in an hour and we are ending exactly 1 hour.
After Fifi fixed it all, she called her sister.
Hello? Thank you so much, sis, for recommending these Fifi people to me. I am so happy now.
I'm glad you're happy now.
The lights are fine, the tap-in's no longer leaking, and the AC is working perfectly now.
All fixed now? I told you, these Fifi people are professionals and always reliable.
With Fifi, it's peace of mind. Every time. Call us or download the Fifi app today. We fix it for you 24/7.
We fix it for you 24/7. Now we take the last question from the audience, and I will get remarks from both Lady Kemi and Mr. Tokunboh. And the last question for tonight, sorry others, we will try as much as possible to answer questions that have not been answered because of time. But let's take the question from Jerry Guma. And Jerry Guma is asking, how do you manage verbal and physical crisis between Fifi technician and clients? Some clients can be something else. What are the measures made in place to handle such situation?
Well, we've not had any situation with the verbal or physical abuse of any of our technicians, with any of our clients also. So, but in the unlikelihood event that such a thing happens, our staff know to not, they know how to compose and handle themselves and not to engage a client. I mean, we still are in the rule that the client, is always right. So we would, the plan or the goal would always be to manage the situation. Everything that goes out with a supervisor, and who is actually the one in charge of the team. And the supervisors understand how to conduct themselves, how the team is supposed to conduct themselves. And I'm sure that we should never have such a situation where we have any situation that escalates. I'm sure the goal will always to diffuse the situation as best as we can. So far, we've not had such an issue, and we honestly hope not to.
Thank you, Lady Kemi. For those of you asking how you can get in touch with Fifi, you can see it right on the scroller. Okay, you can email them at info@fifi247.com, or you can call them on 070003-43900. Right there on your scroller, you can see it. As we round up, Mr. Tokunboh is not here yet, but let's have the last word from you, Lady Kemi. What do you want to tell the audience?
Okay, so thank you. I mean, this is this has been fun, and we hope we've been able to kind of give more insight into what Fifi is about and what we're about and what our what our goals are and what's the whole reason of why we exist. Again, we are the first. This is the first of its kind, so we definitely have a we understand the importance of delivering the promise that we are we are given, and we just want people to try us out. Our goal is to change the face of MEP services maintenance. It's very important that we let people understand the importance of maintenance. it's important that we have we use our skilled technicians, because people feel that we don't have skilled technicians in Nigeria, and we do have them, and that's part of why we are doing this. Put these skilled technicians, put them in front of people, let them be able to provide the services that they are trained to do, at an affordable rate, and just give the technicians, a sense of pride in what they do. And that is what, that's also part of what Fifi is about, to actually bring all this, clients, technicians, and everybody into one space, and ensure that we're able to truly do this. We can do this. It's not things that is for everywhere else but Nigeria. We can also do it and achieve it in Nigeria, and we are. So it's possible. So thank you for the opportunity to be able to sell our story, and we hope we are able to.
Sorry, there's something I wanted to say earlier, but I had a technology issue. We have had some altercations at some premises, and I thought to bring that up. A lot of people actually jack our electricians and try to tip them, and our electricians refuse to collect their money. So what we request is, please don't tip them. They're paid good salaries, they're paid bonuses, they're paid commissions. Please don't tip them, right? So you have people trying to slip their money, and when they eventually take the money, they go and hand it in at the office. Please don't tip our staff. They're well remunerated. They're there to resolve your issues, and we don't want any of this high service, situations where they come to your house, and as soon as they reach your house, they tell you, "Baba, you're looking good today." None of that. They introduce themselves. My name is from Fifi, and so that way, at the end of the service, please don't wrestle them to give them a tip. They're well narrated. Thank you very much.
I was afraid. I was scared. I didn't know.
There is something. There should be a caveat. What happens if through I now have peace of mind, and I'm just so excited. The technician is not asking me for a tip, but I'm just excited with that peace of mind, and I say, okay, just have this. Is that unethical?
Yes, it is. Just pay your bill and refer us to other people. And that is
call us back for another
call us back and
now,
refer us to other people.
The tip should be the referrals. I hope you can hear that. The tip should be the referral. Now, let's close with this. A last word from you, Mr. Tokunboh, taking from what Benga Oluwagbemiga Jayoba has just said. He said, "Thanks for the great session. I am looking forward to seeing this peace of mind spread across Lagos and Nigeria at large." What is your last word for the audience tonight, Mr. Tokunboh?
Go and get your subscription so that we can spread across Nigeria. That's the best way. You have a problem, call us, and we'll be there to solve your issues. And where you do have problems that are unresolved, you can reach out to any of us, and we'll ensure that we give you the best service that you can receive. It doesn't get better than Fifi in Nigeria at this point in time. So we thank you, and we look forward to serving you better.
Thank you. Remember, when you think of peace of mind, just remember Fifi. Until next time, my name is Dr. Archie Celestin. See you and take care.
Thank you very much.
Bro, I just had to say thank you. Fifi saved me this week's on, back to back. AC at home, ice cold now. Generator at the office, perfect hum. Factory fault, diagnosed and done. They came early, polite, uniformed, no drama, no delay. Just fixed it.
At Fifi Technical Services, we go beyond repairs. We bring clarity, calm, and true technical support.